Hi, my name is Alyssa Bowler, and I used my younger student for my snapshot of a math buddy. Hunter has a positive mathematical disposition. He never complained about the mathematical games, and he would get excited when he did it right. If he made a mistake or counted wrong, he would ask me questions so that he better understood it. He met a few learning indicators. The first one that he met was counting on. Another one that he met was the concepts of more than, less than, and equal to. These were proven during the games addition, tic-tac-toe, and shake and spill. When he would incorrectly add, subtract, or count, I would tell him that he wasn't quite there yet. He would respond to these comments with an "oh," or he would put his hand to his forehead, but he always tried again. He did not give up. One example was while we were playing making moves on the 100s chart. He was at 20 and rolled a -1. I asked him what 20 minus 1 was. He said 13. I told him that isn't quite right and to think about 20 minus or take away 1. So I said, Hunter has 20 pieces of candy and eats 1. How many pieces of candy are left? He then said 19. A learning indicator that the student successfully met was counting on when adding. In game 3, he started at 3 and counted up 2 to get 5. He used his fingers along the way. In game 3, he also used the numbers 9 and 3. So he started at 9 and counted up 3 to get 12. He used his fingers with this one as well. Both of these examples show that he can successfully count on starting at a given number. A learning indicator that he successfully met was comparing the amounts of objects in one set to another. In game 8, he was given 2 piles with cubes. One had 5 cubes, the other had 2 cubes. He said that they were not equal and that the pile of 2 needed 3 more to make them equal. And while playing the game, Shake and Spill, there were 5 red and 4 yellow counters. I asked him which one had more, and he said red. So then I asked him, how many more does red have than yellow? And he said 1. Both of these examples show that he can successfully compare objects and knows which one has more and which has less. He understands that equal in this sort of situation means the same amount. He is able to add more to the pile that has less to make the piles equal. The learning indicator that the student needs more opportunities to develop an understanding of is subtracting within 20. In game 19, he was on the 10 square and rolled a -10. His first answer was not 0, it was 20. So I read it as a story problem rather than 10 minus 10. So I said, Hunter has 10 apples and he eats 10 apples. How many apples are left? He then thought about it and answered 0. Another example was when he was at 20 and rolled a -1. His first answer was 13. So I read it as a problem or story problem rather than 20 minus 1. I said, Hunter has 20 pieces of candy and eats 1. How many pieces of candy does Hunter have left? He thought about it for a few seconds again and said 19. Both of these examples show that he needs more opportunities so that he can develop a clear and better understanding of subtracting numbers that are within 20. Recommendations for improvement on subtracting within 20. One suggestion is to use manipulatives to help him better grasp what the word minus means. If you use the words take away or even eat, then he can usually get it. You can also use his name in a story problem and act as though he's the one taking the apples or eating the candy. These tend to help him better grasp what you are doing with the numbers. And with the few amount of times that I worked with him, he could definitely use quite a bit more practice with it. All right, my concluding statement is from the question, what you learned about yourself as a future teacher of math. When it comes to me as a future teacher of math, I have learned a lot. I never would have used manipulatives in the way I did with my math buddies. Instead of being a teacher who only teaches concepts in one or two ways, I plan to teach so that my students actually understand why we do math and all the different ways that we can solve the problems that we come across. I will also be sure to let my students teach me how they solved their math problem and then also let them teach each other. I feel that this class has made me a better math teacher due to everything that I have learned. My future students will also be more successful due to my mindset of how I plan to teach math.